follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino, and we are loaded to the gills over the next 3 hours today. We'll talk a lot of Circa Survivor coming up on the program. A lot of takeaways here on a Wednesday before week number 12. Tony Farmer does a great job covering this with the Last Men Standing podcast and Survivor Sweat. He's on in 30 minutes. Wednesdays with Vito's son, Sal Palantonio. You know that he's smiling right now because he's been super high on the champs all year long, and they look terrific. Mike Paulman studio, 90 minutes from now. You cannot be serious. Matt Humans will go over the best and worst teams, ATS, in college football and the National Football League. And I promised myself, you know, life is short. Why sit down and watch stuff that you know is going to want to make you burn the house down, right?
Did they get you?
And you're going to get so irritated. And look, I have an 18-month-old now, going to be 19 months pretty soon. I got too much stuff on my hands to be sitting there every single Tuesday night and watch the nonsense and the circus that this has turned into. And it's always been, quite frankly, the committee show in college football. But last night they got me.
Oh.
They really got me, Pauly. And it's because I don't even know what language they're speaking. What are you saying? You don't make any sense. The original chairman took off. The new guy comes in, and he's basically saying, do I have this right? Miami's win over Notre Dame is not as impressive as Notre Dame's loss to Miami. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, what Felica said yesterday. Notre Dame is getting more credit for losing the game than Miami is for beating Notre Dame. It's ass backwards.
Yes.
They're also talking about losses nonstop. I thought the whole thing of this was who has the good wins in the
No, it's totally flipped now.
It's absolutely flipped. That's why Notre Dame's 9. It's all based on losses and who has the best losses now, how they ranked them. In what world does Notre Dame have a better resume than Alabama? Well, Alabama lost to Florida State. Even though they have 4 top 25 wins, Notre Dame has 1. But they lost to Florida State.
But they lost to Florida State.
So we have to dock them. Oh, it's incredible. It's nuts what they're doing here. It's just going by who has the best losses and how they're going to rank them and stack them up.
There has never been a set criteria to any of this.
No.
And that's what we've been asking for 10 years. Can you put it in the bylaws? Can you put it in the fine print? This is what matters. This is the stuff that doesn't matter. And we will rank it accordingly. But now they just, in the middle of the season, now what is it, the 3rd, 4th show of the year? They just come up with something brand new with the new committee chairman?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable at this point.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get wild here. And this is, Notre Dame's got to feel safe and loving life. That they're ahead of Bama, that they're going to be in. How about this? There's so many asinine lines that came out of this, but they're also backed themselves in a corner by doing this every single week. The committee compares teams in pools of 3 to 6. So he's saying Notre Dame and Miami aren't in the same pool right now because Miami lost to 2 unranked teams. So the head-to-head tiebreaker hasn't come up, but it could soon if the teams between them lose and the gap closes.
Sure.
So, yeah, makes sense of that way. So eventually they could still sting Notre Dame, but it still hasn't come up. The other thing, you got to be consistent. That's all I'm asking for is consistency and communication. Oregon, this is a quote, we are still giving Oregon credit for beating Penn State.
Correct.
But Miami doesn't get credit for beating Florida and Florida State. Explain that one to me.
I can't.
Okay.
It's impossible.
And as you said off air, it's a great line. They're trying to stuff Notre Dame into the playoffs. Like mobsters putting victims in the truck of a car in the movies.
That's what I thought last night when I was watching this garbage.
Yep.
Casino came to mind.
Yes.
Well, we got 3 dead guys in the back of the trunk. Well, we got 1 more. He can get in. No problem. We'll break his legs. He'll fit. That's what they're doing. Now, there's absolutely no way you can bet Notre Dame to miss the playoffs. They put ahead of Alabama last night. Mm-hmm. They're in. Mm-hmm. They are comfortably in.
Yep. Old Miss is in trouble, though.
That I agree with.
They got They dropped Texas 7 spots. Texas is gone. That's one thing. But Texas also lost by 25. So common sense prevails. But Alabama outplayed Oklahoma, a good Oklahoma team, beat themselves with 4 turnovers, and they dropped them 6 spots. What do you think they're going to do to Ole Miss if they lose to unranked Miss State?
Yep.
What do you think's going to happen to Oregon if they lose? That's another one. Not good for Oregon. They're sitting there at 7. They don't like the resume. They keep propping them up, though, and give them the benefit of the doubt that somehow the Penn State win still holds up. But that's all they have on the resume because Iowa's no longer ranked and Iowa could have more losses. If Oregon loses one of these last two games, I'm going to say it's going to be bye-bye for the Ducks. And the disaster scenario for the committee, USC beats Oregon, Texas Tech loses in the Big 12 title game, Michigan upsets the Ohio State. We would have potentially 9 two-loss teams. Good luck figuring that one out.
Sure. Now, okay, with Ole Miss and with Oregon and what you just said, and how far, based on how far they dropped Alabama last night, when they were the better team, they had 150 more yards in Oklahoma.
With a hell of a resume.
Absolutely, and they dropped that far.
Yeah.
But you just said it, if you want to back up 2 minutes ago. The one thing we've been asking for the entire time is either consistency or like the fine print. That doesn't exist. So watch them drop. Watch Oregon lose a close game to USC and they won't drop out of the top 12. Well, they won't ding them. Let me rephrase. They won't ding Oregon for losing to USC as badly as they dropped Alabama for losing to Oklahoma. I can see that happening.
To me, that's a worse loss, though.
To me, it is too.
Because Washington, if you go to Washington and lose, okay, pretty good team, a tough place to play. I can't kill you in that situation. But then how would the 10-2 resume stack up? Shouldn't lose at home as a 2-touchdown favorite. But also, I would think, and I'm just giving you the chaos scenario, Texas Tech has got to be safe. I mean, you're not going to penalize them for losing in the Big 12 title game.
I would hope not.
They're ranked 5th, and the loss was with the backup quarterback. So to be ahead of Ole Miss and Oregon and Oklahoma and where they're at, I mean, they're right there, and I think they should be ahead of Georgia anyways. But considering the loss was to the backup and how great the defense is, but in any event, it's just it's going to get wild here, and still you got to feel good if you're Miami, even though sitting there at 13, that the head-to-head hasn't come into it yet. But I agree with most people. Either they're both in or they're both out. Or if it comes down to the tiebreaker, you got to take Miami based on the head-to-head because there's no reason to schedule that game again ever.
Yep.
And like you said when you started the show off, really good loss by Notre Dame. Well, how about the team that beat them?
Yeah, that doesn't matter, though.
Yes.
Jesus, I've never heard of such a thing in my life.
The other one, come on, show James Madison some love. I mean, they blow people out every game. I mean, this Tulane business, every week they put someone new up there from the AAC.
Right.
And then they turn out and slip on a banana peel. Just put James Madison up there and we'll just deal with it. And so what? They're an 18-point dog in the 5-12 game.
Our buddy Paul Stone, who joins us every Tuesday, actually tweeted this out after the committee show last night. He's like, I know they don't care, but James Madison would be a 5.5-point favorite or a 6-point favorite against Tulane on a neutral.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Good job, Paul.
I think some other people had him higher, almost touching like 7 from what I saw last night.
Well,
so
I hope that gets out there. That's a good tweet.
Yeah. And by the way, and so going back to the loss by Notre Dame means more than the win for Miami. Felica tweeted that out. And then Bruce Feldman, who is like pretty flatlined when it comes to covering, like he's a total pro. He quote tweeted that and said, it's like the committee chairman doesn't know that those two teams with the exact same record actually played each other this year. Bruce Feldman is like a journalist, a guy who's been covering the sport, again, totally fair across the board for, 30 years?
Yeah.
And when he has an opinion like that, you know that people are just, like, on the verge of giving up. Can't do this, man.
They got you. They reeled you in. I know you're watching the college basketball, but then you saw it. It's just the explanations and then what some of the talking heads say. That it's just, this is, what happened to common sense? What are we doing here?
I know.
But still, with this committee, I would like a set criteria, not an invitational.
Can somebody step in, by the way, to tie it into like other college sports news? I know Humans was pissed off yesterday because Matt Humans here at VSiN, he goes to the Maui Invitational every single year. And there was a story that came out yesterday that basically said it might be on the brink of going bye-bye.
Yeah.
Like, that's an institution. There's absolutely no way, no how the Maui Invitational can go. Can somebody with common sense, Paul, to your point, step in and just say, whoa, we've gone too far. The Maui Invitational is not going anywhere. And this, with the college football nonsense, has gone way overboard already. But I don't think it's going to happen. We're already there. We're over the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
We're falling off, man. We took the RV on the side of the road and cut a flat tire. And it's crashing now. Burning, by the way, going all the way off the cliff.
Well, we got 2 games left. 3 if you count championship Saturday. And will everyone get through unscathed? Highly unlikely. But still, it could work out for them. But there's a chance for absolute chaos here. And they would have no idea what to do, and I would stick around and order popcorn for the explanations afterwards as they back themselves in the corner and look like buffoons. But they want to tell us they watch the games and pay attention and all this other business. Yeah. Bad. And Notre Dame. How is Notre Dame Miami not? How does that not come up with the head-to-head? Oh, the two bad losses. Okay.
Miami's not in the same pool right now as Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have our own tiers that we make up. It's fairy tale land that we live in here. Pixie dust. I mean,
unbelievable. For Alabama to be behind Notre Dame is absurd, asinine, ridiculous, anything you want to say. A team with 4 quality wins against a team that has 1. And they're going to put the Irish ahead of them because they lost to
Think about that.
They have good losses. They didn't lose to Florida State.
People were losing their minds last night when that dropped 9-10. Notre Dame at number 9, Alabama at number 10.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And good for Oklahoma. Big win. Got thoroughly outplayed to jump up to 8 now.
Right.
It's right there for him.
Right.
Piece of cake for Oklahoma.
By the way, with James Madison now behind in the rankings last night, do you want to bet on them to cover coming up?
Well, on a bad angle with the style points.
They're gonna, if they if they can win 40-10 as opposed to 27-10, it might look a little bit better to the committee.
Yeah, they've been doing that as well.
Sure.
Yeah, good point. They are ranked in the coaches poll, but nothing from the committee.
All right, some positive news with this quarterback today in the National Football League, and an early look at Bills Texans coming up on Thursday night. A lot of injuries across the league. We shall discuss next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Little news today, National Football League, looking at the New York Giants injury report as they take on the Detroit Lions this week, right before Thanksgiving. And look at this, rookie quarterback Jackson Dart was limited today in practice. Many books now down to Detroit laying 10. That was as high as, 11.5 yesterday.
Yeah, how about that?
In the game. That'd be big for that team.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Pauly, will that throw people off the scent of using Detroit and Survivor if they were considering that?
Yeah, it might give them pause. But that's also it's a horrible defense, and you have the best stat going in sports right now. They've covered 13 in a row off a loss. So I would still say you take the Lions if that's your thinking. Sanders also gets the start for the Browns. Tony Rizzo will be on the show Sunday. It's the 42nd different quarterback since 1999. The madness continues. I can't believe his props. I know he struggled last week, but some of the stuff at FanDuel, 25 yards each quarter is plus 340. 100 yards each half is plus 650 going against this defense?
No, can't
do it?
No,
Come on. Now, a ringing endorsement from Barry, the GM. It's like someone was fluent in English, and now they have to learn Mandarin.
Well,
about the terminology and why he's behind the
way
8
to have
ball.
him prepared to play.
Yeah, right.
Good job out of everybody.
That's why it looks so bad on Sunday as well. So good luck to him and his yards at DraftKings, 150. $1.40.
My God. So that's Bryce
incredible.
Young territory. And, oh, by the way, that was higher than Justin Fields 2 weeks ago.
Oh, man.
How many people do you think in the Cleveland area can name all 42 quarterbacks in a row? I'm sure there are some.
I had it on a jersey once. I remember that.
Yeah, that'd be a fun game to play.
Yeah, right.
Can you name them all? How many do you think we can come up with right now if we try 25 at least of the 42? So I still think, now that number, by the way, the total has dropped down from 37, which can be a key number, obviously. You get 20-17 final. But it's down to 36.5 or 36. I think I'm going to have to play the alt-unders like right now before it keeps going down because I think that game could close like 34. And, I mean, I want to play like under 28.5, under 27.5 maybe. I think there's a real possibility that game is 13-6, something like that. Nothing happens on either side of the ball offensively. Like if you can find how many punts combined will be in the game, I would absolutely be looking at the over on something like that if the number made sense. How is Geno Smith going to possibly? You think Genty's going to get 2 inches in this game?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But this is they're throwing him to the wolves out there Sunday. But this is crazy. He can't even throw for 150 yards.
Yep.
Burrow wants to play. And that means to me he's going to play. Another good angle here, Taylor on the hot seat. He's not going to tell him no. So whether it's Thanksgiving or the week after, I expect sometime we see Burrow.
That number right now is Baltimore 9.5 at the on the look ahead on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, the suspension was upheld. Yep, you got that with this game coming up here, and then what happens Thanksgiving as well. So that's the Cincinnati line of thinking, or how that could play out. And I don't know what Washington's going to do with Daniels.
No, that one seems completely up in the air.
That one should be. That's it. We've had enough. You've been injured a couple times. You're done for the season.
Yeah,
that's one. Yep.
They're going nowhere. I mean, they're 3-8.
But that's big for Survivor implications, too, as they play on Christmas.
Yep.
And how they're going to treat the rest of the season.
You also have Penix placed on IR, 4-game minimum. If I had a Survivor entry on my own without a partner and I was really stuck this week, I would honestly ponder the Saints.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I would like to have a side bet with somebody. I believe here at Circa Survivor, at least one ticket will be on the Saints this weekend.
Okay.
I think they're going to get used. It's Kirk Cousins who can't play. He's done. He's cooked. And a team that is tail spinning big time. You want to talk about a coach maybe on the hot seat? It could be Raheem Morris.
Yes.
And London obviously banged up. So you get the skilled guys out of there for the most part. And the Saints are coming off of a bye. And I got to be honest, I think Tyler Shuck's been okay. I don't mind him. I think it's been a clear upgrade at quarterback for the Saints. And I think this team off the bye, maybe it's the exact opposite where they want to play a little bit for the new head coach, the rookie head coach, and Kellen Moore. And they're at home in this game. There are other options on the board this week, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I think I'm going to drop a bomb on the Saints to win the game.
All right. A lot going on here. Taylor in. Fields to the bench. Stroud out. Good game tomorrow, but still must win. And you got to go with Davis Mills. Not good. Rodgers hopes to play. I still think it'll be Rudolph out there on Sunday for the Steelers.
You know what? A point I never thought about. Adam Shine, who used to be on VSiN, Sirius XM radio.
Oh, he hates the Bears?
He tweeted this out yesterday. He talks to Aaron Rodgers every year before the season starts.
Okay.
And he asked him about the upcoming schedule after he signed with the Steelers. And they played the Jets and they played the Packers. He was like, nothing. There was no takeaway. He brought up playing against the Bears, and he was like, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers, in his gut, loves beating Chicago, especially on the road.
I own you. I've always owned you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Likes to tell him about it. Always would congratulate Jordan Love after wins against him. Yeah, that's not bad. Yep. No, but as I said yesterday, though, I like the Bears in the game, though, if that's the case. Good one tomorrow, though. This is a good breakdown on ESPN.com. With several injuries on defense, the Bills will want to control the tempo of the game with their offense. Pass-catching arsenal in flux. Coleman benched, Kincaid out, Shakir battling through injuries. Don't be surprised if it's a lot of Josh Allen on the ground, and they utilize the running backs catching out of the backfield. Cook and Ty Johnson had 5 for 127 and 2 touchdowns against Tampa Bay. And you can always use that button, I'm quoting. You can always just say, when in doubt, short yardage or design stuff for Allen, and he was so good on the ground.
Sure.
Control tempo with the offense. Good case, they put me on the under.
Yeah, and I also think that makes a lot of sense, right, based on the defense they're taking on. You probably don't want Josh Allen. Again, I will remind people, that final score was misleading last year. It was 23-20. Houston won. They were at home. Mm-hmm. They were up big the entire game. Josh Allen was 9 of 30 passing. And I don't think they want him under duress the entire time from guys like Hunter and Anderson on the edge there for the Texans. So that if he's going to be doing the dump-offs, I would look at maybe James Cook. Obviously, his receiving yards is probably not going to be too high. And I was texting a friend of the show who's been on it once, TMI Ozzy today.
Yeah.
And he said give a nice, long, hard look to Davis Mills' longest rush over and maybe yards for the game as well.
There you go.
Takes off a couple of times. His longest rush in the game is 6.5. And his rushing yards is barely above that number.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind that. I just, I'm with you. I like the under in this game as well. That's the only way I can look with Houston games. I can't get that game last year out of my head with the Texans.
Yeah. It was bad. No doubt about it. Anything else you like? Who can go off on the ground? I mean, you'd think Buffalo can't stop the run, and what Tucker did against them. Is it more? Is it a couple guys? Could it be Marks and Chubb? Is it just Marks? Can it be stuff?
Maybe
dump offs?
Maybe this is a Chubb game because again, going into last week, we thought that, and the Texans coaching staff talked like this, they had their new guy in the backfield with Woody Marks going into the Tennessee game. They wanted to feed him a lot. He didn't do anything against that Tennessee front. But also, this Buffalo defense can absolutely be had. They are trending in a really bad direction right now. Hello, Sean Tucker last week. And so maybe they look back at it and they examine things like, I think maybe Nick Chubb's the guy here in this spot.
Oh, he's low.
Oh, he's really low.
He's plus money to get 25 yards. And Marks is $1.40 to get 60.
Yeah, he wasn't very impressive last week.
Yeah.
Again, but that O-line, man, the entire year you've had to have questions about that unit, and that's been holding up through, 11 weeks so far. I would be if Houston wins this game outright, if they can shock the Buffalo Bills, I think a couple things are in play. Obviously, Bills to miss the playoffs at that point, and then if the Texans can squeak in and they get Stroud back, God, that's going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs. Now, that's...
Got to have this one, though.
Oh, they have to.
Yep.
If not, forget it.
Yep.
Yep.
And horrible timing with Stroud. Horrible. Biggest game of the season. You can't have them out there.
Yep.
Want the ultimate Vegas weekend? VSiN and Circa have you covered. The first 100 new VSiN Pro annual subscribers who sign up using promo code Circa will get a free 3-night stay here at Circa, January 2nd through the 5th, plus a day bet at Stadium Swim during the final weekend of the NFL regular season. Come on! 50% off the monthly price and a full year of VSiN Pro. Don't miss your shot at this great Circa getaway. Sign up now, vsin.com/Circa. Promo code Circa, free 3-night stay and the day bed for the final weekend of the NFL regular season. vsin.com/Circa. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your pets, tell everyone.
That might be the best deal going yet to date, right? And I can tell you this, by the way, as somebody who's been to Stadium Swim countless times throughout the entire year, like I love a good 105-degree day out there with the sun baking down in the middle of the summer. There is nothing like Stadium Swim on a 65-degree day in January watching playoff football or, meaningful football. The days like that, this time of year, December, January, that's heaven, man.
Yep.
Because 65 out there feels like 75.
Come on out, wild card weekend, too. I got your beer.
That's right.
Thanks to Winston. Absolutely.
Up next, a lot of Survivor talk. Fun discussion. Tony Farmer's going to join the program. We'll break down how many people have multiple entries left, which is going to blow your mind, and how many people still have the Eagles, Ravens, and Lions with huge holiday weeks around the corner.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Every week moving forward is a big one in your Survivor contest, specifically out here at Circa, and then it gets absolutely crazy with the holiday weeks being their own separate weeks in this contest, and we'll dive into it here as Tony Farmer joins the program now. He does an incredible job following these contests out here in Las Vegas. He is with the Last Men Standing podcast and the Saturday Night Sweat pod with Survivor Sweat as well. Tony, thanks for hopping on the Progressive guest line today. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Let's start with this. How many people remaining here at Circa have multiple entries left?
You've got 118 people who have 2+ left. 29 people have 3+ entries. 12 people have 4+ entries. One person has 6 entries left. And there's one guy, Mitch, who has 10 entries left. He's the only one.
Man, imagine being in any of those spots right now. I have 1 left. Imagine, I think Human still has 3.
Wow.
So they're in great spots. Does the guy with 1, how many weeks so far getting to this point has he actually used the same team on every entry every week?
I think almost every week. There was one week where he took 7 Chiefs, and it's the only week that he didn't go all in. And I think he did that for path diversity purposes, maybe looking to take, say, 3 Chiefs on Thanksgiving, so he's not all in on that day. I don't know for sure, but if I had to get into his head, that's what I'm thinking he's probably thinking.
Okay. And then what's the breakdown then for this week and beyond? Because week 13A, Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday, combined with week 13B, they're so paramount to the contest. How many people still have Philly and Baltimore? And then if you want to tie in, how many of those same entries have Detroit for this week or Thanksgiving and then Kansas City?
Yeah, it's an absolutely fascinating week for Circa Survivor. 580 have the Ravens available, 773 have the Eagles available, but 450 have both the Eagles and Ravens available, guys. So people are really going to have to draw a line in the sand this week and make a decision. Do you take the Ravens this week against the Jets and then trust the Eagles on Thanksgiving? Maybe you want to save them both. I don't know if this is something you guys have thought about, but what if there's an injury in week 12? If a guy gets a concussion in week 12, he's not going to clear protocol in time for Thanksgiving. So maybe if you have both of those teams available, I'm talking about the Ravens and Eagles, maybe you try to find another team this week to get by, like the few people that still have Seattle, New England, things like that. Because, again, you lock yourself in to a team on Thanksgiving and there's an injury this Sunday, you could be in a load of trouble.
This Burrow thing is throwing a wrench into things as well, too. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. When is he going to come back? I even saw a report just before I came on. I don't know how credible it was. It said maybe there's even an outside chance he comes back this week because he is back at practice, and I guess Flacco's dealing with a shoulder injury. But, yeah, that's a huge wrench, Pauly, absolutely. I mean, I'm thinking about the Bengals maybe like week 17 against the Cardinals. If Burrow's healthy, that game would maybe be in the snow because I don't know if you guys have looked at that. Week 17 is absolutely gnarly. If you don't have the Rams or Seattle who are going to be really low owned that week, can you imagine week 17? I swear to you, I think there's going to be people on the Saints. I think there might be people on the Titans. Those two teams play each other. For $18 million on the line, God. You may have people on the Raiders or Giants in week 17 because that week is so scary.
Oh, week 17, if you're not ready for that one and you burn your teams, it's a suicide mission. That's going to get a lot of people. That's why I still think, like I agree with Derek, at some point, Tony, we're going to get some carnage here. There's a lot of football left in this contest.
Yeah, for sure. And it could come as quickly as Thanksgiving, guys, because like I said, you look at these numbers with the Eagles and Ravens, it tends to be like trajecting toward a lot of people on the Eagles. And if the Bears can somehow upset the Eagles, I think the Bears are a very overrated team. They've gotten lucky this year, but hey, if they can continue to get lucky on Black Friday, that could be the big carnage spot that we're all kind of suspecting might come. Now, when you look ahead to Christmas, 658 people have both Dallas and Washington available. That's 70% of the pool. And I think what a lot of the pool is thinking is, you know what? I just want to get there, and then I can maybe hedge later. So I'm going to go ahead and burn Kansas City. I'm going to burn Detroit. Yeah. As long as I have both Dallas and Washington available, I can wait and choose on Christmas which of those two teams I like better then. We'll see how Jaden Daniels looks if he's back. Are these Cowboys going to keep the momentum going, et cetera?
Great points. What if I don't like my path and I'm freaked out? What are these going for? 30,000? 35,000?
Man, last I checked about 2 weeks ago, I had a friend of the family that sold 25% for $8,000, and I'm sure it's gone up a little bit more since then over at the Survivor Sweat marketplace that you're referring to. Wow. So that's a clean way to hedge it. That way is just sell a percentage of your equity. You can decide if you're selling pick control or not. You can sell as little as 1% if you want. You can sell 1% to 10 different people if you want. It's up to you.
So the person that sold 25% for $8, do you remember what the entry was worth at that time?
Yeah, at that time it was probably it was roughly 15 or 16 or so.
All right.
Yeah. But what happens in this marketplace, guys, and you may be aware of this already, there's a point where right now, obviously, it's a seller's market. It will become a buyer's market very, very soon because people just don't have the money to be shelling out. Most people don't have the money to be shelling out $100,000 for an entry, right? So at some point, it'll flip, and these things will be going for less than they're actually evaluated for.
Let me throw this at you. So if we get news that Burrow, forget this week for 1 second, but he is going to be, like early next week, Burrow's going to go. He can play Thanksgiving night. He's going to be the guy. Will that make enough people punt on using Baltimore, scare them off, and pivot to Philadelphia, and then as a direct result, it would actually make Baltimore more appealing to use?
Yeah, Mitch, I don't think it should, but I think it will. Like, Joe Burrow can't play defense. That's a historically bad defense. Hendrickson is banged up now. They just lost another cornerback, right? So I don't think the Burrow news should scare people that much, but just the name recognition that comes with Joe Burrow and knowing that he's on the other sideline, maybe in a clutch situation in the fourth quarter, I think it will potentially scare a lot of people off. The Ravens right now are the biggest favorite on Thanksgiving by a couple points. which makes this week even more interesting, right? Because you've got the Lions, the Patriots, Seattle, and the Ravens this week are by far the biggest favorites.
How many people?
All low-owned teams.
Yep. Okay.
Go ahead.
Did you have the numbers in front of you right now? Like how many what's the exact number left on those three teams?
So check this out. Seattle, Patriots, and the Lions, 475 people have used all three of those. That's 51% of the pool has used Patriots, Lions, or Seattle, and Seattle. And then the fourth team is the Ravens, who you have incentive to save them because of the holiday spot that we just mentioned. So people are kind of being funneled toward these teams in the next tier, which would, of course, be like the Rams, the 49ers, the Packers, and the Bills on Thursday, which I heard you guys talking about. So it's going to be in it. We could have big implications here. Monday Night Football. We're expecting roughly 30, maybe even 33% of the entire field on the 49ers on Monday Night Football.
Ooh, that many, huh?
That's your big boy.
And by the way, the 49ers have a lot of good spots where you can use them yet, though.
Yep. Tony does a great job. Last Man Standing podcast, also the Survivor Sweat Show on Saturday nights as well. This is 2 minutes left here, Tony. But there's a lot going on in this town with these, and we'll talk about Grandissimo tomorrow with David Baker. But Mitch has won this contest before. I can't, and Alex White has won it. I can't believe we have a contest in town where there's less than 5 people left, and people are reaching out to you about tracking down other contestants about a chop. And I mean, you can't have a contest where you would have to wait till Wednesday to find out if you won. There's got to be a better solution.
Yeah, you're referring to the stations contest. I agree. I think there's 3 or 4 people left. Someone reached out to me today saying, "Hey, Tony, can you help me find someone?" And it's a shame. It shouldn't be like that, Pauly. I'm with you. I have some other challenges with that particular contest, but I don't want to be too hard on them. But I agree with you.
Yeah. So I won it a long time ago, 2006. It started with a little bit more than 900 people in it, and we had absolutely no idea which other teams were getting used. And I had, to this day, I don't even know the other people that were in like the final 4, the final 2, whatever. It came down to the final week, and the guy that we were up against, they had the Bears at home, but they were a machine that year, laying like 15 to Miami, and they lost outright. Came out of nowhere, stunned the entire industry, right? And we had the Seahawks laying like 7.5 against the Raiders on Monday night. My partner was at the game, and he goes, "Trust me on this one. Raiders are not covering." And I did, and that's how we won the contest. But I had no idea how to get in touch with any of these people at all.
You don't know who they're taking. You don't know who they are. Chop, forget it. You don't even know.
That's acceptable in 2006. It's unacceptable in 2025 when we got Twitter and all these different communities and stuff. Yeah.
Well said.
Yep.
Well said.
All right, Tony. Great spot, man. Thanks for the time. We appreciate the breakdown.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
There you go. Tony Farmer. Follow him on X at Tony's Market Tips. He is with the Last Men Standing pod and also Survivor Sweat and the Saturday Night Sweat as well.
Now, this was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. These things were going for $30,000. Take the implied value right now and throw it out the window. It's worth what someone's going to give you for it. So you can get $35,000 for these. If you want to do that, you can get $40,000. I mean, if you got a great entry, it's right there.
That's exactly the point. If you still have an incredible path with a lot of strong teams remaining for the final half of the season, that bad boy could absolutely go more than what it's worth. Because some of these entries have used, they burned a lot of the good teams already.
Yeah.
And they're going to be stuck.
Yeah.
Up next, Paul's going to recap last night's betting action with Win Some, Lose Some here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
NBA Celtics Nets under 229 down to 222. Correct. Got there. Lakers Jazz over 236 up to 240. LeBron back. Most points the Lakers have scored in a game this year. College hoops. Maryland Eastern Shore 15-1 on the money line.
Damn.
Huge upset. Troy 10-1 beat San Diego State in overtime. And UC Davis 6-1 on the money line. Also, Indianapolis went over in a high-scoring game. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on right here at Circa in the high limit. $61,000 hit on Dragon Link. Ozzy and Jordan Scott play this all the time. You got to get the bonus, and then the thing's got to come down. And if they all come down, then you get the jackpot. And that's what happened to him. Popular game, 61 grand. Good for you. There's the picture to prove it.
It sounds very confusing. That's the game my mom likes to play a lot as well. I have never sat down at a machine.
I haven't either. If you get the bonus, then you get 3 spins. But then if one of the stickets or whatever it's called that comes down with the money, then it re-triggers. You get 3 again, but then you got to fill up the whole screen.
Have the boys from the Metroplex had success?
Ozzy has done very well.
Has he? Okay.
Jordan's had some big hits. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Ozzy won $100,000 on one machine. Kept hitting it.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the lady comes over. I have to reset the machine. He goes, okay, that's it for me.
Yeah, get out of there now.
I'll take the check. I don't like the sound of that. Subscribe, be part of the team. vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. Send these videos in. How about number 10? Oh, excuse me, number 1 first. Look at this. Get out of my way here. Coming in with the big stick. The other dogs? Okay, make room. This is great. Come get out of my way. Stick's bigger than he is, right? The other guy's just, okay, we have to accept it. Clear a path. He's got to have his little toy there and his stick.
That is a big stick player.
Yeah, that's very good. That is excellent.
Swinging past his knees.
Yeah, right. Look at this guy. Look at a French bulldog.
You're kidding me.
Climbs right up and uses the bathroom like a human. Got the crate, the grill, whatever, over the toilet. Got the steps that comes up. Lift the leg, piece of cake, no problem. I go like everyone else, right? I don't have to go outside. Look how smart he is. Up the steps, go to the bathroom, knock it down, piece of cake. Yeah? Dressed up and everything. He's got, okay. Mitch ain't buying it. Lose some. College football, Ohio 30 up to 34, no good. Didn't go over the team total, though. St. Pete's, Delaware, under 145 down to 137. Florida State, UT Martin, over 160 up to 166, no good. And Murray State, Arkansas, Little Rock, under 161 down to 153. Also a loser. Sharp plays, our buddy Jeff and the crew do a great job. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books of full-time sharps on your own with the sharp plays. You don't have to. Powered by advanced AI and plugged into trusted insider sources. They deliver the serious edge bettors use every day. Free reports, alerts, market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X feed. Real-time global betting info. The AI picks up 50 units. Alerts directly from the pros. Sharpplays.com.
A little concerned about my Kentucky future after last night.
Well, Pope apologized.
He did. He owned it afterwards, said he's not doing a good job, and he said it's not going to happen again. So I guess I'll take him for his word at that. But Michigan State was awesome in that spot. And Duke is going. Kansas gave Duke a run for their money. How about Duke covering, by the way, late like that? Golly. So going back to our Survivor discussion previous segment, Indiana Jet, Rob checking in on X, who won this contest a couple of years ago. He points out, 40% have used Baltimore, 70% have used Seattle, 80+% have used Green Bay. Detroit is looking like the one team you have to save for Christmas. He thinks a number of people on New Orleans will surprise us. It's a total fade brigade right now of the Atlanta Falcons.
Wow, there's surprises every Sunday. 13 teams were used last week. But the amount, the number, probably. Mm-hmm. But it's some people are going to step out too. And then you hope you get that carnage and chaos. And the question is, how long is this guy going to continue to shove? The guy with the 10. What's the person with 6 doing? How many are they going to split up on Thanksgiving? And on and on and on.
Even like having 6 at this point. My God. But the person with 10, if they shove this week, I'm guessing he has options, right? Could shove on the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he has Seattle left, but that would be an ultimate place to shove. He might shove on Baltimore if he goes with Philadelphia on Black Friday. When are you going to get a better spot than Baltimore playing the Jets? Probably not very many.
Yeah.
So I wonder next year if they're going to throw in another wrinkle because you figure that it's going to push 20,000 people into it again. And the people who reached out to me about like regular survivors basically said, this is the week now. If it's either this week or next week where their contest, you start after using 2 different teams. That's where it gets absolutely wild.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I've also talked to people who are playing in the opposite of survivor pools this year. They're playing and you got to pick the loser.
Okay.
And that's a totally different ball game Because in Survivor, you can go against Tennessee and the Raiders and the Browns and the Jets like every week if you want. But you have to pick the losing team. Like you can only pick Tennessee to lose one time. You can only pick the Jets to lose once.
Yeah.
And the people
interesting.
The people who have played that contest said it's a completely different spin and they're blown away by how much fun it is. The strategy is through the roof at that point.
Mm-hmm.
When am I going to pick the Chiefs to lose a game? Right? They've lost 5, but that think piece is
that's right.
That's where you have to have
yeah.
A partner would be good.
But if like you or humans, you're rooting for this guy to shove. I mean, that gives you a great chance here. He's doing you a favor. Well, especially if he does it on Thanksgiving. He's opening it up to the other people.
Right. He nearly got beat 2 weeks ago when he had them all on the Bears.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And that's what happened a couple of years ago. There was a guy, we were under 300 people, and there was a guy who was still 10 left, and he put all 10 on the Lions.
That's right.
Motor City something. I forget his alias. And then Jordan Love went crazy, and that was the end of that. But that we even think about, we're talking about it right now. This was a whole different, 300 people left. He's got 10 of them. And he shoved, and out he went. And then you look up, and then we were down. Didn't take long to get under 100.
What is your level of concern for people who are going to be on the 49ers this week against Carolina? A month ago, I would have said, I have no problem. I'm saving San Francisco to use them in this spot.
Oh, boy,
now with how they've they're lingering, man. They're hanging around. They have that alligator blood.
They're not good.
I would agree.
Bryce Young played well. I'll give it to him there, but it was his only second time throwing for more than 200 yards. It's the market doesn't respect them at all. They've been underdog in every game but one.
Right.
I would think Purdy and the Niners can do what they want offensively, but will they put heat on Young? Probably no. Can they turn it over? And can they contain Dowdle? Maybe it's actually a high-scoring game.
We know, yeah, absolutely. Plenty of people that number has moved, by the way, to go up to where it's at right now.
I would say there's some risk involved there. Certainly different options that we like Seattle on the road, please. The Ravens against the Jets. I mean, there's a lot of safer picks, but goes back and now Burrow's at practice today. But what happens? Well, if the Patriots take on Flacco, you'd think they'd be able to get what they want offensively too, and then the Lions against the Giants. So,
what are your thoughts on the whole Seattle thing? Again, they've been burned on a lot of entries, but you can use them this week, or you can save them for Week 17, which again is just. It's a rough one, man.
Yeah, it is. I was looking at it. It's tough.
They get Carolina that week.
I also agree with what Tony said. It's like, let me get there, and yes, you have to have teams available and save them, but let me get there, and I'll worry about it then. That's so far off. I don't have a problem using Seattle. Also, they're the opposite of a normal team. They're so good on the road.
I have, on my entry, I have Green Bay left. If I don't use them this week against Minnesota, I don't think there's a spot where I can use the Packers the entire year. And so if you go back to the beginning of the year and said, hey, you have to pick a 20-team parlay, basically using what you would think would be the 20 best teams. Spots are different, I get that, and you think you're going to use Green Bay, I would have said 100%. But if we punt on Green Bay this week, I don't even think I can make a case for them yet again, unless we have injuries, whatever. If all things are the same, I don't think I can use them. And I don't like them this week against Minnesota. I don't love them.
That'd be incredible. Especially if you make it to like Week 17 or 18. That you have to pick 20 teams, and Green Bay's not one of them.
I'll give you another one.
You did that. That'd be wild.
Can you win the contest without taking the Chiefs? I think yes.
Yeah.
And that is something I would have put at 10,000 to 1 before the season started. It would have been a huge number. But I think, if we have multiple people who win this bad boy and are alive at the end after 20 weeks, I think there's going to be a chance that at least one of those entries did not use KC. Mind-boggling.
Yeah. Be fun to look at when it's all said and done. And it's also a great job by Tony putting this together about who's still left and how many entries.
That's great.
That 29 people still have 3+. Humans, one of them. Excellent.
We were very close to getting a lot of chaos last week. Never got it.
Yep.
Never got it. Up next, the great Sal Paolantonio is going to join the program. He'll share some incredible numbers as to why this Philly defense is so good. That's coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.